Welcome to your daily stock market summary from MarketSnap. Hey everyone, I'm thrilled to dive into today's market action with you. We've got a packed day with some major headlines shaking things up, from a big Federal Reserve announcement to mixed earnings reports and volatile market moves. So grab your coffee and let's break down what's driving the markets on January 30th, 2026, with a focus on what matters for your long-term investment strategy. First up, the biggest news of the day is rocking the financial world. President Trump has nominated Kevin Warsh as the next Federal Reserve Chair to replace Jerome Powell. This announcement has sent shockwaves through Wall Street, with mixed reactions on what Warsh's leadership could mean. He's a known central bank veteran with a hawkish streak, having served during the financial crisis, and he's been vocal about wanting lower rates but a smaller Fed balance sheet. Markets are buzzing with speculation. Will he align with Trump's push for aggressive rate cuts or stick to a tighter policy for Wall Street while easing conditions for Main Street? This could reshape monetary policy in the coming years, so as long-term investors, keep an eye on how this nomination plays out during the confirmation process, especially with some Senate hurdles already popping up. Turning to the market's performance, it was a rough day across the board. The major indexes all closed in the red, reflecting the uncertainty tied to the Fed news and some disappointing tech earnings. The Dow Jones slipped by a modest fraction of a percent, while the Nasdaq took a harder hit, dropping nearly a full percent. The S&P 500 also edged lower, and the Russell 2000 saw the steepest decline among the majors, down over 1.5%. Volatility spiked a bit too, with the VIX climbing over 3%, signaling some investor nerves. For us long-term folks, these dips aren't necessarily a red flag. They're often opportunities to buy quality at a discount, but the short-term turbulence tied to policy shifts is something to watch. Let's zoom in on some standout movers, starting with the large-cap gainers. We saw some impressive strength in certain pockets today. Verizon led the charge with a massive double-digit jump, showing resilience in the telecom space. Other names like T-Mobile, AT&T, and Chevron also posted solid gains, offering a bit of a safe haven amid the broader market pullback. Notably, SanDisk absolutely crushed it with a significant surge, continuing its incredible run over the past year. For long-term investors, these names could signal stability in defensive sectors, but don't rush in. Short-term pops like this can fade if the macro environment stays choppy. On the flip side, the large-cap losers paint a different picture, with tech and materials taking a beating. KLA Corporation saw a steep double-digit drop, likely tied to post-earnings disappointment despite a strong yearly performance. AppLovin also tanked, shedding a significant chunk of its value, while names like Newmont and Agnico Eagle Mines slumped hard as precious metals sold off violently after the Fed news. Gold and silver had their worst day since the 1980s, which dragged down related stocks. As long-term players, these pullbacks in tech and commodities might be worth monitoring. Volatility often uncovers value, but timing is key. Looking at the market movers, the usual heavyweights were in focus. Nvidia and Apple held their ground as some of the most active names, though Nvidia saw a slight dip. Tesla, however, bounced nicely with a solid gain, boosted by speculative buzz around a potential SpaceX merger. Intel wasn't as lucky, dropping a few percentage points amid broader tech weakness. Verizon also made the active list with that huge rally we mentioned. For your portfolio, these big names often set the tone. Tesla's short-term pop is intriguing, but long-term, it's about their innovation pipeline and market dominance. Diving into the most active stocks by volume, it's no surprise Nvidia topped the list again, with billions of shares changing hands. Intel and Verizon also saw massive activity, reflecting the day's telecom and tech focus. SoFi Technologies caught attention too, though it slipped a bit, likely tied to post-earnings reactions. High volume often means high emotion in the short term, but for us, it's a signal to dig deeper into fundamentals if you're eyeing an entry. Now, let's talk earnings. It's a busy season, and this week has been packed with big names reporting. Apple delivered a strong beat with robust iPhone sales, though some margin concerns are weighing on the stock today. Comcast also topped expectations, thanks to strength in theme parks and streaming with Peacock. MasterCard and Visa both showed solid results, with payment volumes driving upside. On the other hand, Charter Communications missed the mark, hurt by broadband losses, despite a rare uptick in video subscribers. Looking ahead, we've got ExxonMobil and Chevron on deck, which could give us insight into energy sector health. For long-term investors, earnings are your window into a company's staying power. Focus on trends like Apple's AI push or Visa's digital growth over raw numbers.
Get exclusive AI summaries of every earnings call. No more reading hours of transcripts. Access revenue segmentation, 5-year analyst estimates, SWOT analyses, and full financial statements. Plus track upcoming earnings, dividends, and market events with MarketSnap's calendar app. Create a free account at MarketSnap.com.
Shifting to a broader view, let's check out the top-performing large-cap stocks over the past week. Seagate Technology soared nearly 30%, riding a wave of strong demand. Royal Caribbean also cruised higher with a big gain, showing strength consumer cyclical spending. Southern Copper and Western Digital rounded out the winners with impressive double-digit jumps. These short-term leaders can hint at sector momentum, but for long-term plays, make sure their growth stories align with your goals. On the weekly losers side, healthcare took a hit with Humana plunging over 25% and United Health dropping significantly too. United Rentals and Axon Enterprise also saw steep declines, reflecting broader concerns in industrials and tech. These weekly drops can sting in the short term, but they often create buying opportunities for patient investors if the fundamentals hold up. Wrapping up with sector performance over the past week, industrials and real estate led the pack with modest gains, showing some resilience. Energy also edged up, buoyed by oil price dynamics. On the other hand, basic materials lagged the most, down nearly 2%, as metal prices pulled back. Healthcare and technology were among the weakest sectors, reflecting the earnings disappointments and macro uncertainty we've discussed. For long-term investors, sector rotation is a key strategy. Weakness in tech might be a chance to scoop up innovators at a discount, while energy's strength could signal a hedge against inflation.
MarketSnap brings everything long-term investors use daily into one clean, fast platform. Explore stock financials, SWOT analysis, valuation ratios, 5-year analyst estimates, and our intrinsic value calculator, built with real fundamentals, not hype. All in a layout that's simple to read and ridiculously fast to navigate. And when you want to talk investing, join Nexus, our community where investors share valuations, posts, and stock discussions, all connected directly to the data. Use our Stock's Intrinsic Value Calculator to run and save real valuations with no spreadsheets. Share your analysis and valuations with others in the Nexus community. Get daily market summaries in video, audio, and article formats. Track the market with our earnings, dividend, and economics calendar. Our homepage gives you a real-time market overview with interactive heat maps, top market movers, and major index performance at a glance. Track daily performances, discover the most active stocks, and analyze performance across different timeframes, from weekly to yearly trends, and see which industries are leading or lagging. It's free to create an account, with optional access to premium forward-looking data. Try it now at MarketSnap.com and invest with clarity, not noise. That's a wrap for today's stock market summary from MarketSnap. Thanks for tuning in, and make sure to stick with us for daily updates and deep dive SWOT analyses to keep your investment strategy sharp. Whether you're navigating short-term turbulence or building wealth for the long haul, we've got the insights to help. See you tomorrow.